trails. ABC 15 is following up on some trail closures and the safety of hikers here in the valley along with first responders. Yes, we are experiencing cooler, nicer weather right now, but it won't be long, unfortunately, when temperatures are really going to start to heat up again.
Yeah, good reminder. The city of Phoenix recently announcing it's going to be shutting down South Mountain Park on excessive heat days, in addition to Camelback and Piestewa. And even more changes could be on the way. So let's check in with ABC 15's Jamie Warren, who's live at South Mountain this morning. Jamie, you've been following up on this issue for years now, and it's getting some pushback.
Good morning, Nick and Kaylee. The reason we're talking about this right now while we're wearing jackets is because this is when these decisions are being made. And I want you to go ahead and take a look at some of these numbers, because the city of Phoenix tells us that even though they have been shutting down trails on excessive heat days, they are still having to rescue people. In fact, when we look at some of this data, it does show that the number of rescues has gone down since this program started 4 years ago. This is the data that they did give us. Now, the city is also considering expanding the times that those closures would be in effect. So they just made it 8 to 5, but they now are considering it to be 7 to 5. So a tighter window to get outside, and also on any day that the temperature reaches 105 degrees. So not just on excessive heat days. And these latest decisions is why we're now seeing some trail advocates who I'm listening to this morning saying that all of this is a step too far.
I have enough self-awareness that if you were to air this clip and we say, we love to run in the heat and it's 110 out, people are going to go, you're crazy.
But these avid runners, cyclists, and hikers say exercising in the summer heat is often unavoidable and at times they say necessary for their training.
I train people who are training for events that are for like the fall, so they have to come out and train. And so I encourage them to come out in the heat, and I know that they're going to be safe about it.
This group of about a dozen who met me at the base of South Mountain are calling themselves the Keep Phoenix Trails Open Coalition. They say that they were caught off guard when a decision was made in October by the Phoenix Parks and Recreation Board to shut down this park on excessive heat days. And they're now even more concerned for what's to come.
These decisions just can't be made without engaging all of the stakeholders.
ABC 15 was not at the October meeting when board members voted to include South Mountain. And a City of Phoenix spokesperson says they don't record those meetings. But in an open meetings law complaint filed by advocates to the Arizona Attorney General's office, they state what was most alarming was the absence of prior public notice or community input. The motion was made and approved with no discussion by the board and under the guise of an update. The AG's office confirms with ABC 15 the complaint is being reviewed.
We literally could have killed 2 of our members.
4 years ago, I reported on how the Phoenix Firefighter Union advocated for closures at Piestewa and Camelback on days the National Weather Service issued an excessive heat warning after they said their crew was suffering from heat-related illness, conducting multiple rescues on brutally hot days.
They were so exhausted, it was actually putting them into organ failure.
There's too many rescues here.
Which leads some hikers, like Karen Walker with her Springfield Happy Hikers group, to call this latest closure at South Mountain necessary.
I think it's a good idea.
But is there another way?
We want to support the fire department.
That's the question these trail users are now asking.
Let's educate people, right? Let's find out what is it going to take, what's the problem, and then find a solution as opposed to a full closure. I've never seen a road closed because it's dangerous to drive, and by far that is the most hazardous thing we all will do all day, every day.
Now, the fire department union has told me in the past that more education simply does not work. And I did reach out to them along with the Phoenix Fire Department for a comment on this story. I have not yet heard back, but I also reached out to the city of Phoenix and I wanted to find out what type of notice was given to all of these hikers before this latest decision was made at that October meeting. And they told me in a statement that it was listed under some possible action items on the board's agenda 1 week before that meeting took place, so that the decision to take action on those items is at the discretion of the board. If you want to hear about these additional changes that are now being proposed or weigh in on them, a meeting is taking place on January 23rd. That'll be at 5 p.m. at Phoenix City Council chambers. I'm told it's only going to be informational only, so no action will be taken. But then a second informational meeting is also going to take place in February, and you can count on ABC 15 to be following this very closely and share with you all what comes out of this, because Kaylee and Nick, as we have seen, there is no shortage of opinions on this one on both sides of the issue. I'll send things back to you.
Yeah, Jamie, absolutely. I mean, we've been listening to people over the past 2 years, some who say, hey, we still want to go out and do it. But then we hear from first responders who say, look, it's hard on us. It's hard on you. It's hard on everybody.
Got to find some happy medium here that is safe. Thank you very much. It is almost 5:39.